malungil tutaw marbekla ada rogoy ngil tutaw Mr. McLean Masaw kamal misulang pastor ra umpulela Biblia. Thank you for your prayer this morning. Mal tosus ra ay betul ito mulmulo malat kan ngira ang lunguet ma arklay ma robo belaw dire kalmal tungit total maram asil belaw ma robo pilong ma ebiraklay dire kemal tolmol malol toko ka president Whips Junior of Island ngi ma delegation ngi ma selgo kairi tiral almermay dire kal malul do rengarawil total mara president tra Senate Senator Paules marokul senators mura speaker House Anastasio marokul delegates mura Chief Justice ngi galara judiciary marokul judges ma staff judiciary mura rokul governors speakers dire kan mura arogul arbelan mo sub iloreng startial press conference o mesringin nga alsel Michael Abrobela direk manung total mar ministers nga tiang mura media lobengedra el al totaw ma Mr. Temete temlo sub el lobengela assistant pastor masal el total mlemlulu otherwise say kung ito pura updates rigi der el totaw matematika kung sa president tamlo sabel attend their opening ceremony sa convention of parties 26 nga ringira Balura Scotland dire kal Miss Senator President Whip sa dire kal mo sa give a remarks first part of the high-level segment for heads of state and government. Amlo si El Gibay the remarks ringi or say al meeting. Dire kal blaringa joint flag raising ceremony between the patrol ship Sunhu number 8 from our Republic of China Taiwan mo kabiringi Minister Obi Angra Selko ka parta reporter ngi dire kan mo kaber niya Director Agwoner Sel Kuka Partra Report ta Ministry of Justice. Dire kan mangarti nga Miss Jennifer Anson ra Sel Obis Rigidra National Security Coordinator malkani question sa media si Elmo address ringi raw riwala. Makura di ngol mer sige dia nga ka bok pasate ala our minister sambol give updates ang gumo rang kagi dari Minister Obiang.
Dito tayo, Vice President, arbeklada kam sular mateal. Irmang kau arbeklada media eli ang noringa tele nga kama Minister State Aitaro. Lobanggela Vice President National Coordinator Gidara Jennifer. Elmora akora kegrel ceremony ma demonstration ra tegidel diala ra Oscar del ra Taiwan lang arbela orela. Igel kora amilingat mokre elia akora all hotel igel labo lolamol mangat mokle exercise tirma a director ma adrir amarin law ma officers kid ngel nartial dial al may ngelong erul adra Oscar tra blura Taiwan ngel ngang deputy director general ra Oscar tra blura Taiwan mang mlartial dial al may emirar aksus ya tial dial lol normal kamandringi ngel kabiter tial dial al kuk ulam kalaringin may di seguidia ako am de la omrael ma aradal lulbangel tial dial al mera dru ulir kabelmenter tir noringa te level message gidal demonstration tir etial gilen mo klaro de Salvador wasing tia seral arrive ra October dori radala director madraisa o amlong mat tester tir el at mangiris el fifth day test dimne negative makadaming say maral waseng amo malmol negative otherwise ang guk hindi tirgal adangara dial malamol mal ngartiang mo o November 14 mo 14 sila abuy de lang kadamal merenga sulire irmangaling eliem no sabedin ma vice president ma arbekla del gimdila kalmong al masahmal neungil al presentation tir aureli ra Coast mayel kuklal katmokla el tara aguk bulis ra daw para blura Taiwan ra dabir mayel eolang sewa yel belu la kausale ra to era surveillance ma da bayel ditela mosbela a director agon mo osmauda endi igagida yel bebir a collaboration ma a support el gidat makidem tirgal da kausale el belu kay nga seora atokora training ma atokora technical assistance ma technical financial assistance ra belum kung saula vice president no sabel invite ka mama giul banggel mong agihuk ne witness er tegi dal tara anyeso ma atokora a training el guklom skida koskar dara abelura Taiwan vice abay dilungil sa director akon malpon sa dagel ko mo detail ra exercise
Tutay Vice President, mga cabinet members, alami dia, sulang Minister Obiang. Tiada kal katengel el kora relationship ergit, lobeng tirkale domodor tirmas et friends, allies, and probably even closer to amnamo family members. Mang tial Coast Guard la Taiwan, timo benggela tirkale Marine, tirkale MSA, Security Advisors ra Australia, Ma'am Miguel, ang arterial al time, kadakay nga Seoul, mangkara coastal line ergid, ma resources ergid, ma isila easy ergid. Tiya ko tal close to talele, Mr. Ngirmangling, abalu ada feel safe and secure, malungila rangri rangaringi soril me mesang alu tamel me spend at teming mulmutrar soril investment dira kamal soril daka bulgulak salmal masad regale television ergide tangaringa kora uldigle dira kangaringa challenge mo security til makama mal promote taygang le egel tol lamadung vice president ma president sa presence sa deterrence ra article mo malasmo mga nga MOU di ko gimolo sa ringi din dio si Michael Bebil gimo exchange training gimo exchange practical surveillance exercises e dira ka nga rescue kada kayong sera rescue kung di madingik basitial easy gi daw sa club mang kadamal welcome may gagid wala friendship family assistance ma kayong sera mangkara dabit sulang.
Okay. Madam Sala Director Akwan Makildrel Almara Minister Matul for his update.
Bueno, ese malungi total mora adarbela rogoy ma media sula Vice President. Akti so akal ko di update kilgop na dobre al tal Sunday. Mang elal nombre kal sera Sunday, Monday. Emnaring sel tournament ra Ayakyu. Adorong lela adra Taiwan ma belaw. Se ang irmang agil sal ngara standalomes. Se part ra agil kora sports tourism that tral promote ra kuk from PBA side. Magda malas mal develop kora exchanges ra adorong lela timergit matim ra Taiwan. Possibly gyomes el dire kan mabdul Korea. Masyabal. Le hindi akadil to kora tourist and to kora idea kada malas mal gora build the skills tirkal ko athletes gid mangungil da compete lo bantir other outside O ngayon siya report lo SSL office ra SPDC, Small Business Development Corporation, I believe. Lo root niya LT Fritz. Say imam madem nara eungela Minister Obiang through the reorganization ng namu belmera officer ng bergidra MHRCTD. Manganya babiel dra ngilura Eli el marangel Network Director of Pacific Islands SPDC Network, Lobangala University of Guam, and Mr. Frederick Granilo. Mang morning SLMOU, gibom sign ngil mo formalize sa relationship. SL office ato dangali lawrio lobantiri ay small businesses servelaw lon nga til namuktub asyo partil or nga til trainer til at kora accounting magel kora tilang tingi lawrio. Aklol luriore sa adol sokal announcer niya dire kan niya oversight hearing nga kara tel ministry gid sira Monday. During that hearing amlo amol tulwasing niya ni del mo nga sir border survelaw matirigel tel magi yawro lo mangala SPDC and mo create ako ra co-op el malasam el unite vertical border sumonia ko ra kumbalirtir mlo amol tot mong siya dal nga nges ul gadmo malas mo si kanges ul helper til insure egal bil singil sa ko terklol ko ra maringer til ngu maringer adal dingil tal lo earth el mosiga insurance mo gadmo malas mo si gal duulen so kalau nga sulel la kamitira senator masaw ma senators nga baw el oversight ra mo biyo ko ram discuss sa el programs dire so kal announce at makabisangay agi mora agi de lesiora Senator Diaz almo open up discussions sa lobangala tukura labor so kal mga madawar other ko malangari questions ra kami tune in ra kabisangay with the clock di gigi de Vice President albor nga kira mangir.
Okay. Albor Minister Education ng maldisyo kang hotel te ale mal nga asulela al talat ka fit sa tegi del SPDC ang kagi del hotel niya ang kagi del minister matol tegi dati kamu to dati minister Obiang. Okay. Kagi del Maria Alodi Atamol odo din klel amlo sabel through SPDC with the help para al talat creates al lolngasyo small businesses for women lo sabel mo open restaurant ngil mala makatingira kuk maasara ang ayang alay ka alwikrang ayang mo o trauma aktin so kal advertiser rela SPDC malungin rela lo ngasyo women entrepreneurs.
Lang brand mo Christmas ngir mo mamola gift term asar kami mo buy local.
Do local.
Buy and do local.
Maluway Silva Minister Education or Minister Jenkins for his
Sulangi Vice President. Huminto tao. I want to just break a couple things out. First of all, the hot breakfast program is now in effect throughout all the schools, elementary and high school, public schools. And I want to particularly thank the cooks who have made real adjustments in their schedules to accommodate preparing an extra 2,000 meals a day. Also, the food service people who work with us are really working hard, driving back and forth and making sure everything's working out. So far, the response has been incredibly good, particularly among the hard group that I thought was going to be to sell with the high school students. High school students seem to enjoy having that extra few minutes to be with their friends, have a little breakfast, and before going to class. So that's been an unexpected pleasure involved in this. Secondly, we've been meeting with all private school board of trustees, going over attempts to coordinate our actions, particularly with our new calendar, seeing if they were interested in using parts of it or all of it. And they'll be getting back on that. I wanted to get that to them. Also, we are beginning middle school sports for the first time with the Balao Independent Interscholastic Activities Association. And so that will be beginning for grades 6 through 8 in January, beginning with the sport cross country, which will be taken care of, the officiating and be taken care of by the Palau Track and Field Association, who has handled it for the high school for us for the past 6 years. So that's a new thing which we're starting, and so we wanted to give plenty of opportunity for the schools to prepare for those and be ready for it in the as it starts in January. We also wanted to get a start to find out if there was an interest in having a spring music festival for high school students, and that'll be, it was very positively received by all the private schools. And so that looks like we're starting, that will be the week of March 11, 7 to 11, I think. Final date not quite determined yet, but we're going to be working on that. We want to give an opportunity to showcase the students' musical talents, which they normally don't get, and to find ways of incorporating the arts into our daily schools. Okay, those are the two updates on things. I also want to address something that's obviously been big news and has been a matter of some contention, and that's regarding the situation with the principal of the Balao Modacne School. First of all, I want to give some background. I taught at Balao Modacne School for 1 year, and I have been working with them for the past 3 or 4 years as a consultant and coming in to give them ideas on how to make their school improve, how to get accredited by the Western Association of Schools and Colleges. So the news, when it hit me, I was terribly shocked. I didn't see it. I have not seen the so-called viral video, but I have the gist of what it was. And so as a result, I tried to contact the new acting vice principal and have done so. We had a meeting so I could get some of the facts from him as far as he knew it. And that meeting was held and went very well. They had a parent meeting with the board and the principal, and he said the results of that meeting were difficult to determine whether or not they had a consensus on what to do in the future. So that has not been determined yet. I am meeting with the board of the Balao Modacne School tomorrow, and we will discuss this matter. It'll be the #1 item on our agenda. As I said, I was shocked. I've had a long association with many of the people at the school, and however, what I have been told and the facts up to this point, I cannot in any way condone this, and I condemn it absolutely. And I think this is a tragedy. It's a tragedy for everybody involved. And my concern primarily is what is the impact this is having on the students of that school. I have a nephew who goes there. He's called me several times, and we've had some nice long chats about it. And again, with the principal, acting principal, sorry, he indicated that the students were handling it better than most people. They were calm. School was going on as normal. So I think that's a high praise to the maturity level of the students, and also on luckily having a person there who has a long association with the school in the acting principal position. Beyond that, I have a few things which have come up that bother me a bit. Number one is that this is a tragedy, and it's something that we are all going to have to deal with. The issue largely is a matter of personal opinion. I have very few facts on this matter yet. I hope to get more from the board. But we know what the end result has been, and the end result is a horrible thing, and there's no way we can condone it. If it had happened in a public school, the principal would be automatically put on leave, and following procedures, if it was found out to be true, would be terminated immediately. However, this is not a public school. This is a private school. They are governed by their board of directors. And again, with meeting with them, I hope to give them, as I've done in the past, a consultation, some ideas, and maybe some recommendations which they might follow. They are, as I understand it now, in the process of determining advertising for a new principal. And they are theoretically, according to what I was told, have been looking for someone who would be a long-term principal coming in. But there's been no determination as to the final end product of this yet. That's still in the process. They are also still in a fact-finding mode. A couple things which have been told which are not accurate The Ministry of Education has no authority to discipline members of the faculty or administration of private schools. We are associated and responsible for the public schools only. The idea has been brought up because we are the issuing organization for private school charters, that gives us power over them. That is not correct. Our charter is based on a checklist of items that they must comply with in order to receive funding. And the funding comes directly from the OEK. It does not come through the ministry. It goes directly from the Congress to the schools. So we have no authority over that whatsoever. Now, what we do have authority is on the charter, whether or not the school is going to be given a new charter. And that will be a matter to be determined as of after a meeting with the board and upon the consolidation of the facts and finding out. I believe their charter is up for renewal this year, but I will have to double check on that. Okay? So that's where we are now. I hope by tomorrow I'll have more knowledge about the subject, but that is the standing of the ministry as of today. Thank you.
So long for the update, Minister Jenkins. Lahat po Minister of State, Minister Aitaro for his updates.
Mansaule Vice President, Cabinet mar other press. Dia ka mal update takbay di swakal di o ay sira sel report niya Minister biang ma Director Agun. Tel visit tial Coast Guard vessel la direct bil start elela monya kora reunion la Chief Emerson mangagi dile Lucy Saal manggil captain one tel captain la sel dial amle captain na one sel Coast Guard vessel berbela about over 10 years ago matelilutan makaso se kahman longi la agi dile reunion tira dial experience tira mas tomle mlo exchange of fuel more on a vessel mlo that run out of fuel let's say the partnership program. Other than that, they said next there sera last mek mla ice masem said peace wind am le postpone due to weather mla mer belau tel dial la ya gidele adra shabal ya heldo agel details are director share tigida mdali same the handover ceremony amira president me sa le presidente plus ambassador Karasawa angara blasabal no vacation masalemeng the morning self formal handover di gide vice Rahman Sula.
Ma'am Minister Aitaro to po Director Shermat Raisa updates from Ministry of Health and Human Services.
Sulang Vice President malungil total moral bekul adal Lawrence press conference. Dirakal dia kamal update ra Ministry of Health and Human Services and din sa law spare talte alle announce sa community testing. So Ministry ko mamakuram la statal roll out ka community testing for COVID. The purpose of the community testing is really the provider cell whether doing extra layer of protection. We're going out to the community test rather to identify potential cases. Man sabi adal mari adal interview mabula ka community transmission. Less of now hindi ka community transmission na detector ng so the community testing is really being proactive mura community etral identify waseng ngaring case mang makarang at mari adal store sa idal case. Masal mle ko tal community testing milgot mokler sira sa padong October 3. Ang koradim le 154 al ada show up and we were hoping al waseng muptokar adal May hindi 3 dal 154 al adal le show up they all tested them le negative mga selway ako kalutal next community testing moring iro ngay melurior tel global village selo mo ra 11 dori almo 3 o'clock tel test up mal free. It's free and available to anyone magimal no langitem mga dollar abuay pulsa bariral make effort till mail get tested. Agidira kalmlaw reach out til moraigal governor Rabekal state algira like agidal community testing like mo organizer ako ka alsela balumang tirigel ko ka dahil sa ilang mga lalmara or boring ako ka teali ng Michael tester tira alsela balu. So we're working with the governor ako scheduling like agidal kakarusel balu. Direct kalgi oriol labanggela MOE mo roll out yourself school testing program mang agidi maulyo labanggela Minister Jenkins selkuk marura tele la schedule direkal mora school yegi del testing al marura school like the students to minors so they're going to be required a consent among the school testing program at the school. It's also available for our staff from our sensei mga igigidi ako rangara at tebelere lang al gimoryo labanggela Governors Association ma MOE at the same time mga marala umrus mga ngaringa tirigel dira kalanga first dose tir ang ngaringa padre elang ang April May ma tirigel kuk lang ma first dose uspe a second dose ma direkal May ma booster shot magi direkal mo start to roll out ring so mga abigay updates from MHS lang nga questions sa kakal mo address.
Okay, Ma'am
Thank
Sada.
you.
Director Share, amatay sawe. Ito sa final time mo lang kay kita ni Minister Obi ang raw erado para media for questions.
Sa ito, o subes yung madala true may email po makmalas malaw makatan. Dia mal di mre. Kadam lang wa to era China airline alwas yung amo possible cancel a flight al Saturday ma next week Wednesday ma Saturday ay kang di communication dalong ulit ay nga sab el gukla nga rin nga change ang flight resume let nga bladak ngeringi akong maway sa igang ale kloa uriol di na kalabang kala minister matu lama Bureau ngira tourism PBA el hosiga el encourage tirgel adal mla suebo kal merebelaw raigal balul me especially Taiwan ang aringa direkal airline abla todo lo banterir mang jada salmo alarm wase kal al stop at China airline ay gigi dia di kaldel day seblal lo ay sirgiden di sebel change rangi dil time al change kada mo makatakla igel kuk mo schedule al mera arbeklat tiang blool base ra IDC rar adama tili whether it connect to Taipei or it originate ra Taipei may it's a policy decision or tira mang koradim nagim sal investigating hindi maybe ang lasabela Minister Matul direkal seri kita alo dingi hindi quickly sel giblom witness ringir elil demonstration or tiale Coast Guard carrier Taiwan dirige tadire kami nemo demonstrate sailboat rescue at el ngaradaw mang amal mlo klol masarong udringia kita among midok laikal maibibabul ugi ngirmangal almong ya ada orgdia ko dol tam tringil me tirige ngariya ko tele la su portal low masil ya ada obari mautal ngaradial makalli lungulmong manggel ada ang mas ringi tukuk makalli lungul meradi alam dia ka adal al morada bal mo rescue mal ubedir ko do meta ay galem ay bibabul rescue el boys el mortir mang mal klol ko improvement blade sangal blalo o tirgit ongerung te diré al mal ungila processor tir al sugum tamos tobra adilira tirgal ador omeng tirgal mangup serang wala al sugum tobra ngi eng makara al processor tirgel at taramal the blade witness ringi el trainer adad al direct asel la adapter tial teletay la the processor adal COVID-19 wasen smeran dia mask ma sanitizer ma bilir ma ngaram dire kalungil leng kita kumdas ang maring kita adadre elang marine law di beoter tilwa ngaramong al border adial al sugum ngaring ay gidel kuk pal sirkit may gel kuk tigal mataarab sul min gire del mo border radial gigi del cora protective measures el de super tegi del exercise may gelol to darwa madray sa awngil mo guidelines certical adat se lora rang limna sokal at sira ge sulang vice
Men sa tichuan ito anit tel China Airlines. O pero matapagir magir man sum sa mo questioner kami we. Di finally era pas kami ay gaki tele may ki hildra floor le ora media di book address yourself me questioner ka wal kirel egel waiver of permits and the questioner ka si ngari sa language ko ra sigel as necessary. Oh. Since ang mabiling na president ang may next sequence step at the reserving for him, munsi ang niya mo instead of sa mabiling lang man ngara ay kay kitial laway ba. Thank you so much. Kada pong kura first a question from media, mura Mr. Uludong.
Malungil silse Vice President Ma'am Saul tial amo lastra ka.
Oo, mulas na katalgibel time.
Kung man mo ngita ko happy birthday.
Yata.
Ngaringi selger el gorkaul el girela gel la set bulis el temiltigan ilo la baklon el bolo ra angram nungoy mang sigida akal awre din mo report ati to ang artiang mang ay mo ukelo bangkel tiagi da sen korato kora akargaril mang kalam ng lisel bil el tulo de la senator elir omo omerolom nivel el girel selwa se adjas la gortal mogorgri atokora syukang agiril di other belo el amlatpo de la klubu en pasa through breathing in mora house adru ulem as a vice president elected official edigal adralla ngaraul de swem el girel se am sure se kamna uiwi klot tutlela tal toir ala bela mo Ucas lagi si inbal basyukang. Dia kal ngaringa te al sugum song sa ada belau jas. Sa ada belau mo sel sistem tigel assessors mal ubta masters te ko sa kamdangay mal bendia kan di tumle practice ngira. Ang trat atrocitory ra 70s ma 80s ma 90s.
Thank you. Alam ko baka sa te ala Director Aguan to respond their questioner kal girela amlo tutakal wala babalo ala. Ano mo?
Oy sulang Vice Presidente semle investigation na last year en Mlora Fish and Wildlife matamle complete ra investigation en Mlora process el Mlora Director of Legal Police Security Time en Mlora administrative adverse action en Mlora suspension mang sabi ko masim na mo breaking the case eleng Mlora disciplinary action rather than court process. Ese aguk na decision na Director Security Time.
Yan to last year?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Halaklut mas ka imong bombo. Sige dal ko kalama ngelo se sera ko tuluram la ngia. Sel hearing ngel ada huriping el build a meal lol tracker. Kitalgar. Rex Fernandez. Tumle charge ngira tul counsra trafficking matul counsra possession. El asel affidavit ar police am lokal waset ngel bil tigringira January ma February elarra. 8 months ago. Ela question asin ngariya ul mung milngil milbe sera Friday ta charge ngi eno ko mahiring na Monday. Kemer ko sel ngariya kle other belau el ngarsel affidavit el waseng ngiya ulam arratir edi ngariya kle other belau el go kultraun mortir maklela other huriping el dire ulam arni di ko adega tutak ligel ke del adal
Tigel other belal involved.
tigel other belau invalva already tengara kalbus teru ndigel other huripinga ko adega case mte ko laseng ngeng ngariya chas mla file against the in Raul mong nomeo 8 months later.
Oy, malungin. Albo mga tigil na Director Aguan ay ilay algerel nga ongi.
Ang sulang Mr. Uludong. Ako taklol struggle di sila case. kal amdenge ding di imo prosecutor kamam e plus agi sa sila lame e gilmut adit masing taadil ngangil witness taadil ngangil and yes ang anya time ay lose rawan na witness alo wag lose rawan na defendant di au ulmong mote ga time ling kay gidal di imol prosecutor ma gali di sila gay siya kamang last year may alir level of apatokal trial kamam as much as so mamel resolve ay garo going really it's physically impossible ra di sila against ma akumela resource mo valor sabi kalmutan mo kumakal sa din nila ay mo sa din nila update ro basing maram nan may ul mangguktim na kalbol charge nila ay man
Di final question kaya si Elam magwangara aperedela auspela mam kitil karbela maral mom sisi alo bang maral mo yo qadim nakal involved ba huri ting elal for the first time el arrak ingel kotel le chasringa se march melang ka ongerung el ang mo ni ongede menggukela blasis ba huri ping kumlang aramo tidim les ale ardi rigi da kuma involved ma galubus el atuk so isor ada huri ping malasit
kadum sa trend
oh kirel
au gadim le kokira adra ngodol blue and then gidel mo gukra adra belam lo mesa aklung yo lel sebe digid el prophet directly mlangi magaduguk mlol digid and then el act ba imla mutmak adra ngodol blue magid adra belaw trenda mlaw tik masing ngolyo raigale prevention ma awareness loruni maigal prosecution a demanda telgibel dirga medio sisium brinla da salmal gezi ngik masik mal telal ay sa low spare niya are using population dim la mo molt masin tamal makasaya es low spare so something is working sige da dip esel subel israel
Okay. Mada asal ko ka plum raising il issue girer judges. I agree. Wasing malungila Palawan judges sa tiral di sa itigil issue ra custom and tradition. Hindi kamtingil wasing aliangal sang sel. Other bela ol judge. Ebi ko sa blol mo niya conflict tergi dali takawat. Yung amra lungil po do Mr. Segi the situation. Ngariar masters and assessors. Sel tul sa tergil gay sel mla dismiss. Amle adram rigil at judge mungulum daswa mo spera kuraway segidil master kura assessor sel kuk podo sa ta toko era syukang mga ka ko akmalong marang alos yung malungin palang judges sel sum tadi kal other belaw kung elabol nga assessor sa malugat expert talogan tarira other belaw altanga kura mo altanga nga adralla orange say ay gal tokora syukang atchat dang oklet tira ola balmay kita de kadawaya kumtas ang nga bebira balura a Europe pal chat up to del maral partra investigation dia atchat dang ok le mondaya mer madala chat matirgel adra la amay ay kay kita tokora syukang al mer madala chat enya walomi rakukti segidiel drong lir tirgel ngar madal mga sel hindi Selso madruk masata toera klabelaw ma taletele da other belawing ngora the other belaw ngil da decide ay gelgeisel niya mukan gestera at awlaktup sa taletele da other belaw mga malkongir sel senet bile hindi segid mol kongil was assessor sal awngil bol ay do mesngil was tirigid bol lolong sewra chacha sel tira de al other belaw ay kalgis
lagmil gora sel waseng song sa tia semral toy alam dengan elal waseng mal song sa tia ite ko sigama dengan mal ubendiak ngil imol tia sel adram rigel ngara appellate division elang uragri imura case trial division algo momrar el albuil momrek kada almut mal monsons ya chief justice rigid el adibus am ayrung del buil le bukna dibus wala la ragal telal buil kid kle tasal mal ngosong skura jas may ka pa to kay kalgese made
Oo, erek mom katalatay lang yak mura president surang abis junior selaming kay kiti obak lisi el malut kram mo judges didakti ko ngelo ngke malwasing maral nga song sar judges. Yak sal matangali at chief justice lwasing of islander ilang di cocktail tulang. Always. Sulang. Mr. Talams.
Madam Vice Presidente, el statement de la director Aguana mal disturbing. Seldula sendiwana prosecutor, eptoga cases. Akmil nga dadu ang gagid prosecutor, mal torn el gerel at tial government terbela. Lengulang song sa attorney sa obisa attorney general, ma desisyon na agorta atob ng mal matngit, emering tira apil. Sil imura geisel dura keisel, Siya sarun galada gerel galbus, lor tira krala. Nding lasing mora rehabilitation. Nding mora ablile dia ka conditional settle dia rehabilitation. Magmula sa kami other belaw galela kal blakar ng mule, sumok legal illegal drugs, ma crimes, ma corruption at talbalo. Le obisa elaga Minister of Justice. Tial obisa Attorney General ang ariungan. Kamakarang erulit tial obis mong sabel mo o fila igel began taldrual. Attorney General mo sabi lo uri kal crime cell lo rular bulis. Ay kapag to kanya mo tamal lenda ka tadiolam na malarak. Yara dagup mo mereka turmatir contract emraling yamate. Ngarakuraw de swemel girel tial shortay sa adralan. Robisa Attorney General. E seguida a corte, kamdang lalen court, dirakal batigra senior jasam u 5 years. May gelgergril girella utman malen court, ablangan mara trial division. Matatrit el SFN girel ngase. Tospe a rulesel, a trial division el apply, e dagal apply len court. Ngarakuraw de swemel girela.
Malmasal Mr. Talam sa la OOTCL tara hotakrol challenge sa Office Attorney General. Attorney General ang way kita bla malukoy malukoy director akon. Di emongel prosecutor el kukong alay gagidiyal criminal cases involving trafficking of drugs. Gimla adong Attorney General adong nga sulala President Whip sa maulbi na kalula mabachet niya nga ni di segid el recruitment process amring la tahara adem le ejunom le close belwath elang bla open mga amla mo sa betal haya and di to attract rungil adralla to adra brigel al may ya di regalo sperak mal klolo do dal harartir mang segid ya agiredal mo o mesrima kmutan mo Attorney General ang sige di recruitment ta necessary sa edal harar adrala al nga criminal case nga ni expertise tira prosecution ra criminal cases maselgok issue ka ra makamsulam la raising al mo discussing am Attorney General lagi yung meeting ra kalmande ida director ako ng direkam larmeng so we'll mo bring up patil ay gitil issue ra giredan mo hiran mutal bebira our prosecutors for criminal cases and the way gitil ko we have challenges that diakadil te rolela mal segid the salary package how do makarang adrelin mo attractive mo bolso inan merbelo selgo issue ka rehabilitation natil al kung ngari imala korto ma korta sel so kung magmulwasi nga mo sabi ito badal nga ra rehabilitation ng diakal nga ra kalabuseng na sabi eloya conditions algire lay kay kiti mang til ang adikal agiratal ko pengirap with korte ko giutiang ko ay salwasi get president ra Palau Bar Association bringay katosang mal sabi etal bringay agital issues al bay mora Palau Bar Association sabi ital al mga do al mora korter kirepelo. Ngayon, additional.
Sula Madam Vice Presidente, gukura obamay gamema Mlania Tuxio, Palaway Radio, lo Evangel Teriale, Officers Veterans Association, tuluay sa kumlania babilngir, el mera presidente, el askertir mabodsabi Terial Veterans sa Lureo la government, el agency sa government, el more administrative leave, el participated tiyan maran med Veterans Day. Ngarakural de swemel, giretser el aldiusa presidente Belal.
Mukura dirwag isa babir el mer mata ka sel Veterans Day kal November 11. Well, you know, we're in luck. Mr. President will be back November 8. Sa mo address sa inyo sa given time.
Sulang Madam Vice Presidente, te alamora Ministerio bi Angel, ngora ko inside tiale ko scout career at Taiwan. Ngora mo subira recent announcement el tilo de la Palau National Aviation Administration. El stova skogi men de albol sebe galbebul sel shooting range la stata Monday. Mbral ngi abo es lulap te gal ada Taiwan ngar tial dial mo practice seguir el shooting range aldum ta stova skogi ma drone men de albol fly at least in 1 mile mokmir sel basyo. Statra next week on Monday, November 6.
Tilal loltob da directive el mora buhay ma ara operator skogi ma drone sa tilal loltob da ringa PNA ako ka administrator Littler wala ba po el may maiga kamatingin kita direktor ko kung ora ala po sama kukuk me sa aldi lang may sa hindi ako wala mo sa tararabe sa ko kaboy direktor
Sulang Minister Obiang sa la malungil gere nga memon naktob lo ay masimon nga training la bulis lo tier soldado mo certified tigel esel bulis sergit e dire kamo enhance self training sel tactical team giblam start talom over ni se start el al Sabado el mulmutra a Friday la next week sel bam nora no fly zone agir el seguir el training al bulis sergit mar soldado sula
Coast Guard cutter.
no as far as I know tigit dimle as a peacekeeping training mission dimla ka untamam el mortir masimula ba arms el may so no
Sulang Director ako ni Tamara, Madam Vice President del Ministerio de Justice, narise recent reorganization ng Ministry of Justice.
Yes.
Emle abolis ay gele Bureau of Marine Law Fish and Wildlife. Elangel Lieutenant, gele Chief Emerson, nge Acting Director. Acting Chief relang. Emergoing gel me Director Fish and Wildlife relang time a report and morning.
Dimla director chief of Fish and Wildlife.
Relang time olgon report el morning gele Acting
Yes.
Chief Emerson. Sorry logit na singnara gora sebem gora smodi agege the role tirgege the terol chief relang time el bladbol el motorcycle office.
Okay. For administrative action momsa sa kagi dali director ako nang kayo oversee the Rogil Bureau mal long to girela Rogil reporting.
o ngulgiura tigingela Madam Vice President Minister of Justice Menak masim laptop la SLEO executive order realign marine law fish and wildlife for mut ngela blal police or the BPS mang kultur segi del EO ya kultur dia memol melut ka Chief Emerson mo acting chief tel overall division yang kali tamadiga ul maseor ngel ongerum mang sea process il ngil al time se macatral process. Now as far as recruitment el mo ngel SL chief se gukta process el gimogira Ministry of Justice el mo HR.
Mr. Talam so ko ramal ngi legal karim So, ulterior executive order en tirkal didiol mle chief Emerson mle chief ra ay gagitale marine law enforcement ma chief tamding here lokol kuk mle chief ra Division of Fish and Wildlife amla mo makal nga ra imol Division of Maritime Security and Fish and Wildlife Protection. Tirkar teru chief edis be elawan at chief moringi. Me elang nga ka communicate at chief of staff office sa vice president misbalesa ma-communicate lo bangela ngel kuk nga ra office ra minister matul ngel mis sayrong na bayama al momre ara waseng makarada kuk bodong mokkarngi logi wa tial personal service system personnel segit ya akmal dibel kataklo ay susyak talgibel ko ra ang song sangi ako lingi tangasewra segit yal office ra misayrong nabeamal wasem makarabodo ngat mokkartial reorganization di at ako amlato da litigation rin matematik mududi radio sisiu and again malos pa ang seologi segit daling silver personnel issues ay ko amlato badal kay sa record tamsa da lateral transfer ma I mean so thank you for bringing it up. We're working on it.
Sila, Madam Vice Presidente, te question amora minister matura. Giri tirgal unemployed el other belawal ngani alistel. Ngani ang tiringin ngara civic center. Tangar ngi other mlamor sil ngar sel listel. Lol tirak laigel. Togo el tilob da selovisa civic center kung ngar ngi 6 el vacancy. Raigal private sector ngani. This year albong aigal vacancy blal announce already filled up. Tirgalada jagal batiga already. Te direct logeret mlasei. Sel cross act na top da ngir el time and dimora other ango del blue moon mutra marcha next year. Maluben direct dimor gamama other pela. Maluben ral effort tangangil malasmal. Lolin sir gamam lo sikaw.
Wal masaul sira da kotel announce mong officer gidra employment services angara civic center ingriya manamok med luy al adal mesiga urior to gid luy al adal giblem base ragel kok al do lo bangela tel labor in every month ngani tegel adal ne renew malub to siga employment mora shobartir kana raise ramal important point o masin del time agombali Selbil el time ukla dol sis bara ngaringi egel job openings ertir the wal announce at mo uspe a waitress uspe other plumber whatever job description lo special kombali a motura labor ya process ergi da sel lo del club sel total announcement ingar lamlo sigra other bela ol mo fila gegidal jobs Agib na matigil was a lot of times that tell obviously the labor adimrur sa gidal process el meter sa gidal condition adori days hindi actually ngani adrang odol bulul mo feel sa lurior ma adolable change ngil culture lang forewarn agil kombali ya wala balister tirelang el wase el suku magi sandra adalegong e by law engirul interview tir engirul lo mesertik mutirkatumit agil criteria ma condition sa gidal lurior Elangan niya other bela or meet the qualification and giri will hiring. Now, we know mong hindi kasi di replace ng galat immediately ng galat already ng arbela. Maaladul doru ng ilong gala kombali ma Chamber of Commerce ak mo giri del statal forewarn na kombali mo as we move forward include to tell labom understand dal wasing agi mo malasim train or other bela el mo meet the qualifications. So Oriol Gimoro Lobangela WIOA, PCC al time, develop training programs. For example, ngani terul buig mara Malaysia, lemnania opening ertir. Itlagi do am lortil was saying na fill the tel vacancy. If it's within the 30 days, and that's el filled. Kira other belao ngani equal malubong talgi gadam ngalyo orngi mgirat mursalurior. Matokol mara sige del establishment tawa say ngiriul interview ngiriul mulus el mergamot mongram di mlakam hayran kal other bela ela sige dal aldadu ulgi mobang agi mobile guk mobay sa guk training program ulgi mo dadu ra PCC las ko mga song sa schoolel ngasong sa du ringi en justified e mama mo sigura agi dal training al mo meter sa condition sa coming year man so ka ba ngutal ti alle Mr. Salvador malo ay sa mo tegi dal process agi bom started enforcer ngi mo make sure trigel 300 plus el other bela lo si gaurior ani atte elil so yusra tukora tourist matel private sector jobs between now and November 15 tregi drogul ngara prep sa pandemic re-employment program al suku maigel agency malubang ngurior lang ari al time madakal pick up pertil dakal absorb pertil ngurior agi mongar alam lo si ga already ra private sector tegi the process agi bom truni for example as kum ngani adam al mail me renew agi sender other lego interview gal suku ma other bela wa qualified engirem al repatriate radam say actual process la alak with ngirma ngam ne partners agi al luudak mong gire la other bela al ngusel urior sige da kora ndi te al du hindi kasi it'll be force or other changes in behavior mo kadam ko gid kora amral budul say this intent ringi sel wukto kora cross trigger rogul adar nga cross seral pas ra cross act mali adar ngo bulul malagi gid ludo ese lak alwida la amli alawringil mo endra a December mal endra December en gira rogul kombali lo trigger adrir el take over payroll tier I hope ngora amle talgibel answer a question.
Dagal borar other belaw. Egelu do the mali more other angle blue.
And two though although the more other rogul impacted by COVID. And dimle policy gida sir al February al take over president. And there was a trigel other angle blue rogul malar talo do back to the magel kombali langaringi. E malasam lang siya magel kombali maintain a facility tier until we reopen a tourist. Alak alwid at tablet at doon kaum ang irasibong ra RIC. Ang argument ka was lumew do ra imal employer hindi ngarang klela employee makasingil lang nga kung bali ka ma'am lolong sir ka ma'am. Ay kamal mle tingin mang agil tuti sira next the pass ra cross act.
Minister matule. Goramal mering la turisten nga ra blura siabal Korea ma. Awablura Hong Kong and mera blur bela ngaral lurior malu bengal kora direction na mo meserin sebel ngoiti tri turista gegi del belul mer bela ngari agora al dadu lo o bantri tirgel majoral tour operators ra agel belul kora identify gel guk issues ra gel belu al dumende al tobdar adrir e wangara guk والدسويل أبلور بلاو للسيو تير الجريلا جيجيدل الجوك بالسيل أوريدين نارني رايجل بلول تان سي أجيجيد أولى توريستا دال سبيل توغد المير بلا نارني أقورا أميل الدودو لو بنجلا جاجيد الميجورال ديستنيشنز الجيدا أم قتلتالو التراتيال بلول مرتي
mal misal mal lungi la karim ngania mal close الدودو لو بنجلا director share ما director Mogol Michael Belul Mosa for example Taiwan relang klol issue ra Taiwan sel narnya policy ra sel bubble el bleda establish ringit pun trigel other ogun merbelo agiril namo 6 months daga katal tob ra Taiwan say we mle the implementing policy laguk according to director sharing let's rather make sure in sell 6 month period and daga adro ba COVID. Hindi kita magi COVID del koram na olong ong ay gigit policy ma ongitel mo Taiwan relang musin sing kada na mo fully vaccinated other belaw etira moral mo vaccinated other bluri e medo ke COVID del olong nga tersegi del restriction mo 14 day. Nanya meeting nga kalo banggela ambassador Taiwan ra last Friday mangaringi ongim rel almorsel kuk CDC sel CECC ra Taiwan el malasim lolong ong or segi del policy mo 14 day level 14 day trigger rogul mo rakom mo mla orus trigger rogul mla ma orus el alguk ngal sa Taiwan asip ilmei tara al dura lang abong la Korea gimnamit trigger agents ra Korea belaw abong la minister of ang Mustafa Ngida Peter Aldo do labantri ra malasam ngani tablol model ra mesois berbelaw. Ngani sel United model el 72 hours prior o me a PCR test rakaw, make sure ngani fully vaccinated, emo ko marasko gilme. Yo berbelaw kung test raskojo, 5 day kung test. Siya ko tel model. O ngerung sel model at tayo nga kung test raskojo ay berbelaw la yimmer klobsay, yung dekam test ko bak. Agil tablol model lagi momes, ang aning salong ede, agil private jet. Agil private jet el may, malum private charter, require well in advance at the same agil PCR test til mera director share, but to review rogut mumit agil ko conditions rigi. Mandulong le lagi agil kaldel models, agil mo datura ko rayar at mugalam ng sel del 3 tangil wa private jet. Ngani 3 charters scheduled ra December. Basically era al meta send agil الغاردر تير مرا شير من ريفيو مو يقام مرال ميتا جيد الفاكسينيشن كرايتيريا جيد يوم يرو تملاس من مملاس التسترا ايربورت الا غوريا سيدا ملا تسترا ايربورت دي تايوان دي unfortunately ngirel 3 months in advance ya kabuk ma aldo do laban trir lang ap mo galel sib edel lungun mo 5 hours before the flight etong wa testra almerbelo agigida gel kim adado kuma a director share ma hospital gid el malas malulke der say gid el indak sa del control agel blue yatara challenge sa sel return ela tayo mga for example sel return nga alam bodorik mong 5 plus 9 it's a 14-day it's buyot lomoso de la 14-day quarantine 5 days are strict meaning indak sa mga public transportation wala mga taxi sige lagi mula sa mlalong ong ringileng akong balir tayo mga ulumbring artil durok ra adrin navigation ada kal sa emal return ada ka bamorior le omasin dala tayo mga ada ka lumlay tangara public transport misegi del ngani aldo dur el allo bangela tayo mga malas mal murugil mo abelaw sa mlo mas ke morior et test out ra 5 days nung aldo du amra katangal tangat le ngel mli ambassador gidra wallace angar serela angar pa badru ulen mga aldo do lo mangla tayo ang malasam ease agi the restrictions at ukto bora sina amring ngid masaw dringi the trigger much strict return policy tir even don't to be il may this returning mo require 28-day quarantine sulang
minister matutya ko last ko ramle mention mo kumle testify ramdal olbira lulaw imlom tigak mong cloud tutilel girel organized tirgal voters unesabela hindi tayo del COVID-19 am la change ra tele laudio ra tourism industry ra role la connection ra arukyak mar adal tir olaba product ra ay gagawin sa destination sa lula lelan sabira adal langariong it product ra wa individual other belawal luwagel muluway sel ngaringia air ngaringia temir mom takl mamura mamomal albakle in civil dingra internet mega directal el booking sel mortir sel labonia awagel association iqlil gora mo control el tamiliti al free enterprise ngaringia al sel abalwan
akumta sa free enterprise ada kasi el tomeri first di gabletat sa mal close to telel gumdas weng multo pangal el mora other rogul ngara tourist industry kadila to product about rental ada kal product dia kal sa emang okra kadrang edio ba air tergaw expect tourism mas edingil decider pung more ngire mang ngar alam ako ka ngara PBA ma Bureau of Tourism lol nga several other will create a product ngire mo mga adap mo ngasa air tergaw kadmore kadmora jellyfish lake day 2 kadmora gear day 3 sige los is akla gidel mo nga training el morter gidel borders ako marap makot el cloth challenger tira insurance mring ra individual border el gampit lo bangela established el shobay ala ka insurance ngili okya kalameng dire kalomes at mungkal ngirmang safe air trengi siya ko mring ra aral insurance mong ang recommendation na kalmar other olbi lak mo agi el alta magi develop ra plan muldar singin mortit fundra insurance and mortir kalboy gilang segi di ako klol ko braw del longol ringi ar try dum gekadal shobay
Sula Minister Matule Commissaire da Front Business. Di tuptokalado ngitergaut mo ngadadura National Development Bank. Milsebelo top da loan mo telgibel ngario olngi. Tirgagi del adal do sauder tir. Amo subir el morngia capital tir mula galurior من داخل برا أدرى مودل بلو. توليتك مغلي الفوكس سابي سيجد السورسرا الأودود الموكابيتال tir al أدرى بلا. لأن داخل available الأودود المورتير الكمبيوتر أدرى مودل بلو المين. establish أجاجيد اللوريور تول. كميوتي المال ملاسم من المرول. ديسيل بومو مستريج الملاعيرت. تديلونا إرتمركم. Ndiaga angod el capital el bestril beside the salon elo marti al ert. Togra diolitak mugale sabiul mudadu National Development Bank malmaran mo bangar el developmental donasyor al adal establish aurior al sera abelwan.
Tilagot tulong il point Mr. Sadoy. Kita udah suwe ni. Namo dadu rabang. Unfortunately tel bangya tambaleng audo. Mang ako mesendit tablo rail si edal ngol sutri adal moryo interested ti. Chelo olbil fund sel operational cost rabang. Mang modya ka lola serngira al sel lol nangilu do. Ako ngerung ako to bede do PPF mo mang ngwa interest ngin moryo. Giren ngania fund do tungi gegre administrative cost ngi. Men sel interest meryon. It's a business. Akor omis ringin sa gid makta kadi al adu open tree ding dire ka lungil lubor olbit mo ka omis mo ka magrang kater sa gid al coster tier mang sila interest al muter meri on at the end of the day they're borrowing money tamalang rakmont ang o labalo meskid
Doon, ka para mustawak lang. Oo.
Jangan mal jangan, kali lalu ya kaya kali kadi buat presiden tu mong aku udah kali election.
Okay.
Hindi minta kali ma direktor di national secretary. Kira lah amrusan kaya ngalaka. Ngala apa status update sa iba. Hala di kiri malbe.
Oo, malbe ko.
Milsao dalo seng moriak lokol mora middle school from 6 to 9.
6 to 8.
6 to 8.
Maybe 5 to 8, depending on number of students.
Kala dako sa kulimesak lokolan dia karsera bolomet angkara tu silko tura sa Monday. Kada kada yakyun di kumesing lomete. Ay gil klor sa Monday ma Tuesday. Mo tigil adabela so yaktu lomes Minister Obiang. Lagi mo no kongel was yaktur bela amkisan. Ngamalul mes agil kasi manungil game sel kotul ke. Man ne clear cut. Kung mo sisi at Taiwan. Ungerul game and noise. So bela yaktul since ang national sport bela. It must start first grade. Wala mo na liligan na mo da liligan. Totally that's the afford ngi. So must start first grade. Yaktu es national sports ngal kaya elementary mutra high school just baseball alone so now within the system that you found
it would if it's within the schools what you're asking okay if it's within the schools then it would seem to become a part of the physical education
Yes.
program
Yeah.
so there's nothing to prevent us from doing that one of the issues we have is in the schools in Bubble Top there simply aren't enough people to field a team unless you play across grade levels and or co-ed, which in baseball I think is rather dangerous. So it would be, we were talking to some of the other federations about different alternatives, and it may be that rather than playing a regular nine-person baseball team, you could work on different ways of developing the skills. Batting practice, T-ball is another way of doing it. So there are different options available, but it's an option. It's one that at the high school level we've looked at it, but some of the schools don't have enough players to have teams. But on the other hand, it's something that obviously, historically, people have been really good baseball players out of Palau. So it's something that we can certainly look at.
Kaya Director, matray saan lamin pag sa answer a question ra Mr. Ngawakal ko ka.
Ti oga update lagi nila Amrusar ngalaka.
Omrusra nga.
Pero
So, sige da CDC sira last till Friday. Look to the announcement was at la approve a vaccine for rangalakal 5 mo 11 na career. Kadam dingil was yang ngalagay del 12 mo 17 na basically tam lang ma or sari mo. Moya dito lang ilera CDC ma FTL guk to the guidance luwasang lang mo sa betel. Mel asay gid na to der sira last Friday mel ang what we need to do ako place the order regid malaya ako korus el la sayid el age group esel dungu gid ako mas schedule roll it out.
sure. Tilab na ano.
Na approve yung CDC.
Recently approved.
Ngunyang?
Yeah.
Okay. Matang ngunyang komran misulang adra media plus adal ko kami kapte ngani eta mura poragel birthday announcement ko mang Tanchobira public auditor sa Trunino Tewi ere kukpas ang clear mo mare kung itakloy dire kaltan Tanchobira Dolintel o kangara Ministry of Justice oy Hope Ronald ang kangara Ministry Health and Human Services kalatar tigal besul nurse graduate at PCC Ramak Almara MPII Ophelia Fraser MPII kalabay gire mami takra happy birthday Minister Obi ang atidi nga MPII Kastanbur kat modarang happy birthday MPII ma Johnny Smau MOE Ministry of Education. Oy ka kapang ko. Oy Bralaster nga ako mo. Natatong itaka mortir happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, all government employees who are celebrating today. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Mata ko, malmlo masaw lukong amrokurtel press conference meron ko luwasyanik sa press conference kung mamlamote la President Junior, Surang Vips Junior, amal morming sabto ko lungi report about his trip. So, rubakal Diyos po lumakal tanga targi, pero ko makukonek sa Wednesday ako man sa hotel press conference.